Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. I'm out at kind of a abandoned, lonely beaver pond here in New Hampshire, and no one ever comes to the other side of this pond because there's a road on one side, so they just drive by usually. So I'm kind of adventuring around, so we're gonna take you on a little nature walk and show you what we see in the process of wandering around the pond. All right, so I've come around the far side of the pond, like I said, where no one ever walks, and here's one of the first things I found. Look at that. Turtle has had a bad day. So it's May 10th, I think, in New Hampshire now. The weather is pretty chilly today. It's probably in like maybe around 50. So as far as for New Hampshire, for May, that's still pretty cold. The turtles are coming out. I've seen them sunning themselves on logs when the weather's a little warmer, but I bet this guy was out hanging out and then somebody got a hold of him. So just little pieces of the shell everywhere. So Predator 1, Turtle 0 for that one. A quick look here at some work that the beaver have done. So I actually just stepped on the log to get over it and knocked it over. So they have chewed through that one significantly, and when the time is ready, they will bring it into the water to use it for building their lodge, working on the dam they have, and other things. Kind of weaving through the pine trees and the downed limbs and stuff over here, but we are coming up to the beaver lodge right here at the edge of the water. Let me spin around and show you that. So there's the beaver lodge. Saw some wood ducks. They took off and flew off around the edge of the pond. I scared them from where they were back in the woods a little bit on kind of a stream. But we'll see if the beaver come out and get agitated and slap their tail because I'm wandering around their pond. This is me right here on the edge of the beaver lodge. I'm gonna keep walking now. One thing I usually teach at my wilderness survival 101 classes is just the topic of awareness. And one thing I do is I challenge people to walk slowly and to soften their eyes. And by that, I mean, don't focus in on something, but kind of let your eyes be relaxed. And so it allows your eyes to take in information peripherally more effectively when you do that. So as I'm walking, I'm trying to walk slow here, but every once in a while I'll take a step and then a bird will fly off or some other sort of waterfowl or something. So trying to get them on video is tough, but we'll see what we can do. My original plan coming out here was this right here, do some fishing. Got a tiny little rooster tail on the line, but there's definitely fish in these waters, but they're tiny little fish and they don't seem overly interested right now. So we turned it from a fishing trip into a nature walk. Let me show you some more beaver sign up here in the woods. We're probably 20 feet, 25 feet away from the water, so they'll definitely venture off into the woods to start taking down trees and such. So probably, I don't know, 75 yards off right now, I can see a kingfisher flying, and he's down at the far end of the pond. I wonder if I can, wonder if he'll come back this way. I'll try to get a recording of at least his call. It's basically like a like that. So that's not great, but it's sort of like that at least. So he's at the far end. Saw those wood ducks. I think I saw a cormorant take off before and fly off. You can tell when it's a waterfowl because they take off, they head towards a tree, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm not great at landing on trees, so they'll take, basically gain more elevation, fly over the trees, and try to find another place to land. All right, so for you guys who aren't in an area in the country or in the world where there's beaver, I'm going to show you a couple things that if you are ever in the area where there are beaver, you can pick up some of their sign. Obviously, the work being done on the trees because they're chewing through it is one way. But because we don't have things like alligator and crocodile around here, we're going to have slides. The slides are almost always from beaver, sometimes from, there's other things. There's river otter and muskrat that make these little slides, but usually from beaver in this particular area. And then I'm going to flip the camera around. You basically see a small stream that's running downhill and lots of wood across it. And that's usually a sign that the beavers have dammed something between this pond behind me and one over there where I'm looking. So we're going to walk up this little stream So we'll basically show you a beaver slide, and we'll show you the other body of water where the beaver are hanging out. So you can see right, let me point at it. So right where I was just pointing, that kind of muddy spot, the beaver come through from the body of water up over this hill, and they slide down through and come back to their lodge that's over here. So we've got scat all over the ground here. We've got some right here. And then some over here. And honestly, I'm not sure what it is, so I'll have to do a little research to see what's leaving that behind. So hopefully you picked up that sound. Not totally sure what it was. I think it's two of the wood ducks that I saw before. Some sort of waterfowl. I couldn't get a good look, but they went from the far end of the pond all the way to where I am now, to the other far end, and now as I come here, they're starting to head back the other way. One interesting thing, because of all this standing deadwood, let me just show you the pond behind me. So all those dead trees means that there's a lot of woodpeckers around here as well. So I've seen some pileated woodpeckers flying around. Just, they're beautiful. They're totally like a dinosaur, just like a little pterodactyl flying around. If you've never seen them fly, when they fly, they go like this. Like they flap a couple times, and then as they start to drop, they flap a couple times, they start to drop. And obviously the red head, the black body, the white on the body and the wings as well. Pretty animals. So right here you've got some pine, and then those right there are going to be blueberries. Well, they're blueberry bushes, but they're going to be blueberries. You can actually see one of the little white flowers, and eventually you're going to get blueberries on this thing. Got some geese that were hanging out over here. They're swimming away. I'll give you a look, and we got some little guys, looks like following mom and dad. So I've been walking around this pond. As I told you before, it was basically supposed to be a little fishing trip. But I just thought to myself, hey, it'd be cool to show you guys something right here real quick, which is that this can be the scenario where you end up in a bad situation in the woods and you have to spend the night. So I didn't bring a ton of gear with me. Like, I could see my car when I started walking. Where I am right now, I can't see my car. Now I know where to go. It's just over this hill. It's probably less than a quarter of a mile. But if you got yourself turned around, you found another pond, you're like, oh, I'll go check that pond out, and you're like, wait, which pond is this? You get yourself lost. That's why I try to keep some everyday care gear on me that could help if I'm ever out in the woods. So I've got here on my keychain 2 items. There's the Exotac Nanosparker XL or Nanospark XL, and then the I1R EOS from Olight, tiny little light, 2 settings. And then I've got today on me is my EDC knife, CRKT prequel. And let's just say I was like, you know, it's getting late and I gotta get warm and hunker down because I'm totally lost. I'd have some gear on me. I got the Nanospark, I got my knife, I got a flashlight, and I just ran across some birch bark. So let's make a tiny little the beginning of a fire, just to show you that even with your EDC gear, if you've got it on you when you head into the woods, you got a fighting chance at least. So I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm just going to show you. It's basically got my phone leaning up against a tree, but we're going to cut a little bit here of the birch bark. Which, if you guys watch the channel, you know I love birch bark to get a fire started. So there's a slice we'll use to scrape some bark, and then I've got like I'll make a little almost plate-like thing here. I'll probably just tear this. So make this nice and flat and put it down there, and you can see that's where that is. Readjust the camera a little bit. And now I've got this, and when I go like this, you're gonna see it starts to almost bend a little bit. And you can see this top layer starts to loosen up. So I'm gonna slice this, and it starts to come off like paper. And the whole part, you know, the entire, or I should say the different sections of the bark are flammable, but this stuff goes up nice and quick. So I'm just gonna peel off a bunch of it, like so. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's May, but this is like perfect weather for somebody to overestimate their skills. It gets freezing cold, not freezing cold, but it gets cold at night. It was down to in the 20s a couple nights ago. And you're like, oh, it's just a spring day. I'll just throw on a light jacket, go for a walk. And then you end up in a world of hurt. So there's the, I don't want it to blow away. There's the bark. Put my knife to the side, break this up and fluff it up a little bit. Put it down on my little birch bark plate, if you will. So you can see that right there. Turn it, see this a little bit better. There it is. It's tough without a tripod, I'll tell you that. Stick out of the way. Take my nano spark. And this guy's cool because you take it off like so. Take the scraper off. And then you can reattach it to this section so you got more stability when you strike. So there's my fire steel. Here's my scraper. It's a little bit tough with all the keys jingling, but we'll make it happen, I think. Almost, there we go. So yeah, I'm just having some EDC gear. Can definitely help out. I'm gonna put this out so we don't get a big fire going. All right guys, so that's a little rough cut nature hike for you. Tell me what you think about these videos. If you like them, I'll do some more in the future. If you're like, nah, just do other things, talk about, you know, reviews, other tactical, everyday carry type things, let me know about that as well. So just was out for a hike and thought I'd shoot some footage and put this rough cut nature hike together. So thanks for watching the videos, and you know the deal. We're on all social media, and tune back in for more videos soon. Take care.